Hey everyone. So, as a sell side realtor here in the city of Windsor who specializes in selling houses, it's what I do. I work with buyers a little bit as well too, but mostly what I do is sell houses in the city of Windsor and the surrounding area. I want to point out something that so many people do when they sell their house, and I try so hard to stop them from making this same mistake. But they do it time and time and time again. I just don't understand. It is so hard for me. So on this particular listing, this house, I've blocked out all the information, but it's in one of the top 25 neighborhoods in all of Canada, probably. It is the top neighborhood in all of Windsor, probably, in my view. I've sold houses in this neighborhood before, and I have one that I'm in the process of trying to figure out what it's worth in this neighborhood for a client, potentially to be selling it. So I know a little bit about this neighborhood. It is a phenomenal neighborhood. And everybody from Toronto wants to move to this neighborhood. Everyone. Everyone from Brampton, everyone from Toronto, everyone from wherever you want to call it, they all want to be in this neighborhood. Every one of them. And they all have capacity to buy in this neighborhood. It's a great neighborhood, isn't it? So in this particular case, this particular seller chose a realtor who had come into her house and had said, hey, I'll happily take the listing at 3%. Now, what happens is the standard commission is 5% in Canada, in Windsor. So what happens when a realtor does that is that if they're paying themselves 3%, then they're paying the competing realtor 2%. 2%. Right? They pay themselves 3% to pound their sign in and to take some photography of the house. Now, they may have had a professional photographer take photos. I'm not sure. Looks like they might have been professional photography. Now, this is the smallest house in this neighborhood, and there's a lot of large furniture in this house. So it makes and it's beautiful furniture, it is, but it makes the house seem that much smaller because it's the smallest square footage in the neighborhood. It's beautiful, but it's the smallest square footage in the neighborhood. Also, the house, as you can see there in the in the photos, has no landscaping whatsoever. None. So the challenge was when you do comparables in this neighborhood, the challenge was, and when I sat in on this as a potential listing, I had said, you're automatically going to get my 2% sell side real estate. So I'm going to save you 1% automatically. What you decide to offer to the other sell side the other realtor is up to you. You can choose any sum you would like to decide on. You can pay them 0, you can pay them 1, you can pay them 2, you can pay them 3, you can pay them whatever you would like to pay them. You decide that in Canada. That's how we do business here. So, unfortunately, they brought the property to market at $849,900, which was exceptionally steep for a raised ranch with no landscaping in a very popular part of town. It was just a hard number. The reason for that. So what happens is when people go through the house and they see how small it is, it's nice, but small. We're looking for something a little bit bigger for $900,000, Brian. I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a second. This house is priced at $849,900. I know, Brian, but by the time I make my offer, I'm going to be competing with at least one other person. And so I'm going to be in multiple offers, and you're going to ask me to bump up my offer to 900. There's no way that this house is worth 900. So that's the problem when we choose 849.9 to list it. I wanted to bring it to market at 789.9. That's where I wanted it to be. And of course, this realtor said, oh no, 849.9. Why would you leave all that money on the table? I mean, geez, your house is worth so much money. List with me. And that's how they do it. Because then the person selling says, well, geez, wait a second. I'm going to pay the competing realtor less, and I'm going to pay the listing realtor more, but they're going to get me more money supposedly because they said that my house is worth so much. Well, guess what? I was spot on. I have these degrees and designations. I've been an appraiser in the city of Windsor before. I know what I'm doing from a valuation perspective. So what did the house sell for? It sold for $780,000. Why? Because they were only paying a 2% commission to the other realtor. Nobody wanted to show the house. Geez, why would I show that house for $850,000, which is overpriced? It's the smallest house in the neighborhood. There's no landscaping to it. What value does my client get for $850,000 if I was to show them to this house? And they're going to be asking me those same questions. Look, Brian, what kind of value do I get if I'm going to make an offer for $850,000 for this overpriced house? So it was never going to be there. So $780,000 is what it sold for. I wanted to bring it to market at $789.9 because that's what its value was. So it actually sold for less than its market value, and they only paid 2% to the competing realtor. Don't ever do that. Don't overprice your house in today's market. The Windsor market is a very stable real estate market. This was an $800,000 house. The buyer got a great deal because of game theory around commissions, and I tried. I tried so hard to point out to this person, look, here's how you should be looking at it. And I have another listing right now on Riverside Drive that I'm also pointing out the same thing, that the people that went through it, because of where it's priced at, the people that went through it said, Brian, this is not a $900,000 house. It just isn't. Can I go show you some $900,000 houses? Yes, it's on Riverside Drive. Yes, it's on the waterfront. Yes, 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 but it's not a $900,000 house as it sets. But if I priced it at $849.9 and paid $2.5 to the sell side realtor, I'll probably get pretty darn close to $900,000 for it. It's called game theory. It's something that a person who takes business classes at a university with a degree behind their names, with those letters behind their names, understands. It's taught at university. It's taught in business class and university. Don't miss that day, because everything is all about game theory. Everything in life is about game theory. This particular person sold their house for less than its market value, and they got crushed like a bug. I tried. Lord knows I tried. I tried so desperately. But lost that listing. And so I can only pick myself back up and go and do other listings. I've got more listings coming up. I've got a listing on Lillian. I've got a listing on in Essex. I've got a listing on Bayswater, and I've got a listing coming up in Kingsville. So I'm doing fine as far as listings go. Oh, and I've got a listing coming up in Fort City as well too. Because those folks understand and appreciate degrees and designations and a clear understanding and experience in real estate. Have a great day. If you're thinking about selling your house in the city of Windsor as well too, then please give me a jingle. We'll sit down and I'll talk to you about all of this, how important it all is. And I'll try desperately to not have you be like this person who left, $70,000 on the table. My name is Brian. You can reach out and give me a jingle, 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. Here to help you. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.